Alright, today I am going to prepare prime rib perfect. Yes, prime rib. This is about a 4-pound prime rib bone-in. Now I'm going to prepare it to roast it tomorrow. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I have already started to separate the bone from the meat. So I will go ahead and do that. Later I will tell you why I'm doing this. So there we have it. Now I'm just going to put the bone part on this side. Look at how good this is with all that marble. This is a perfect prime rib. Next, on the fatty part, I am going to go ahead and make small cuts, cross it, and now I'm going to rub this with sea salt. Just sea salt, nothing else. Make sure to rub in the sea salt over the entire piece of meat. Rub it in. Nice. And we are going to do this for about 24 hours. Once that we finish putting the sea salt, rubbing the sea salt in, we are going to put this on the refrigerator for 24 hours, and tomorrow we're going to prepare it. This is going to be delicious. Now go ahead and set it back on the bone for now, and we'll go ahead and cover it with plastic, and then we'll go ahead and let it rest for 24 hours before we roast it, and then slowly cook it on the oven. I see you tomorrow. Now, after 24 hours of letting this prime rib sit it with salt, we are going to go ahead and grill all of the sides before we put it into the oven. So we have the grill on. It's about 400 degrees, and I'm going to begin to grill this delicious prime rib perfect. We're going to sear it on all sides, and then we're going to cook it on the oven for about 4 hours. We have 4 pounds of meat here, or I will say prime rib meat. Now that the prime rib is seared on all sides, I am going to go ahead and place it back on the bone for cooling it down before I put it into the oven. There we have it. Now I'm going to wait for it to cool down, and I'm going to go ahead and rope it and then put it on the oven. This is gonna be very good. Smells delicious, yes. Now that it cooled down a little bit, I am going to rub it or tie it back to the bone. I'm using just a regular kitchen twine. And I do this so that way the bone doesn't fall off while it's cooking on the oven. And you still don't know why I cut the bone and then put the bone back for cooking. I will tell you at the end. So now, what I am going to do, I am going to go ahead and place this prime rib perfect on a rack. Put it on a pan, and I have set the oven for 220 degrees. We're gonna cook this very slow, but it's gonna be very good. We're gonna cook it for about 4 hours. This is a 4-pound prime rib perfect. And we'll check it back in about 4 hours. I always do this to reach a temperature of inside the meat of about 120 degrees. Then I know that it is prime rib perfect. That's how simple it is to prepare prime rib perfect. We'll check back in about, I will be checking this on and off. This should be ready anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. In the meantime, I'm going to be preparing the side dishes. Now that the prime rib perfect is ready, it's time to enjoy a bite before the guests arrive. I have tomatoes, fresh tomatoes with olive oil, asparagus with onions and garlic in olive oil. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut the prime rib. The reason that I separate the bone is because this makes it easier to cut, and then I have a perfect rib for someone to enjoy. So I'm going to put this aside, and this makes it easy to cut. I don't even know where to start, so I'm just going to go ahead and start right here. Cut a very small thin piece, and you will see why I call this perfect or prime rib perfect. This is so good that I can never describe it to you. As you can see it, very nicely cooked, slowly cooked. Just the flavor of the meat with a little bit of sea salt. You see this? Perfect prime rib or prime rib perfect. I must indulge in a little bite. And I like lots of marble, so I'm gonna have a fatty piece in combination with a lean piece. Simply delicious. this is a great holiday meal. And today, Easter Sunday, prime rib, perfect. Until the next meal, enjoy, because I will.